Hi, I'm Christy Blatchford, the courts columnist for the National Post and Post Media, and you may catch glimpses of my gray and white cat, Fatso Flanagan, who more often answers to Satan for reasons that may become obvious. Anyway, you may think this is normal. There's no fire. My hair is not on fire. The sun didn't rise in Toronto in the west this morning, and nor will it tomorrow. And yet, if you were reading only the news or watching the news, you would think that Toronto is nothing at the moment but chaos. This, of course, is all because the new Ontario Premier, Conservative Premier Doug Ford, and his government passed a law which said that Toronto City Council would be cut in half. This is a piece of legislation which specifically reduces the number of city councillors in Toronto and draws the municipal ridings, aligns them with federal and provincial ridings. It means that there will be not quite, but almost half as many councillors as there used to be. That law was subsequently challenged by the City of Toronto and some intervener groups, and an Ontario Superior Court judge declared the law to be unconstitutional, and then the Ford government did the absolute unthinkable, apparently in Ontario, it's never been done before. They invoked the notwithstanding clause. The opposition went absolutely mad. Toronto City councillors have almost Churchillian, one of them, Kristen Wong-Tam, who said, "We will fight Doug Ford block by block, inch by inch. We will not give up Toronto without a fight," all of which is lovely rhetoric. But I think, honestly, the climate of civic discourse doesn't have to be civil. I'm not a great believer. I think it's probably obvious in civility as a way of living. But it is so filled with hyperbole now. The Premier's guilty of it. Opposition leader Andrea Horwath is guilty of it. Some of the language she has used in reacting to the government's their actions on this stuff has been so overheated and so over the top. The notwithstanding clause, in my view, and I am not a lawyer and I'm certainly not a scholar, but in my reading of it, was put in the charter to be used. Quebec has used it. It wasn't put in there to be treated as some sort of sacrosanct jewel that nobody ever dared use. It was meant to be used. Relax, people. This notwithstanding clause and the law, which will become law because of it, has a built-in expiry date of 5 years. So 4 years from now, there will be another election. So if the next government doesn't want the City of Toronto Act to stand, they can undo it. That's what new governments do. That's what the Ford government's doing. They're trying to undo what they see as damaging policies enacted by previous governments. And that's what the next government, to follow the Ford government, will do. They'll try and undo all of the things they disagreed with about the Ford government. C'est la vie.